Opening the building, checking on the animals, making sure everybody's alive, which seems pretty obvious, but they can always get into mischief.
You never know what you're going to find when you come in the morning. You know, feeding, cleaning the cages and that sort of thing, policing the area. We have to do a lot of, of course, public area cleanup too. And then in the afternoon, you go back and remove all the morning dishes and clean up the dishes and lock up the building. It's pretty much housework, but hand-raising lots of babies. That's been my favorite part of it. We haven't done a lot of that recently, but that was really lots of fun to me. That was challenging, I guess you would say. And when you're really trying to breed the birds and you put effort into making sure their habitat's right and they're happy and everything, and then you see it work.
It's learning. That's part of it too, I guess. You learn stuff out here all the time. You just meet all kind of people. It might be a minority opinion, but I like working with the public too. It's like talking to people. People's perspective on the situation out here, how they see animals.
Yeah, you see a whole lot of different animals and stuff that you would never normally ever see if you were just an average Joe.
It's an idealistic kind of situation that the zoo was, and everybody is always interested in what it's like out here, working with animals and stuff like that. So being asked to come out here, it's just sort of naturally, I think it gets in your blood. Primarily what people are surprised at, especially the volunteers, are at how much work there is to it. It's not just cuddling animals and doing all those tactile things.
I sweep a lot of floors and wash a lot of dishes.
It's mainly keeping them clean.
Take out a lot of garbage.
Because animals, they never flush.
We don't sit around and pet animals all day.
A lot of people have the impression it's a sanctuary. There's a lot of animals that either are or near extinction that wind up here for good or ill. Sometimes it's the last resort for them. I'm sure idealistically there's always an idea that they could be reintroduced, and that has happened on rare occasions. And just to let people know, instead of seeing two-dimensional television or movies, that they're right there. These animals really are, and people have the opportunity, especially like in cities and stuff like that, who would normally be introduced to them. They're right there for them to see if they want them.
And the educational part of it, I guess, to give people more of an appreciation of seeing the, how really, truly amazing some of the animals are. Well, you've got all the animals here, and they have to be maintained, fed, kept healthy, keep them healthy and happy.
Try to take care of them as best we can, like try to keep them happy, and try to keep things relatively clean. They're constantly working against us on that, but keep them happy, healthy, and let the public know, let the public see you, let them know that you're doing this thing, and then you're trying your best to work with the animals, give people a good rapport or a good idea about animals, how you should take care of them, or how you should respect them in their environment and all that kind of thing.
The typical day is doing dailies, which consists of making all the actual diets that goes out the next day. It's pretty interesting to actually come in here and to see exactly what animals eat what. You would never think a polar bear would eat a cooked sweet potato. You get to walk around with all the animals, and it's free. To actually see different animals on a daily basis that you would not see. As to cat, dog, I get to go to giraffes and actually feed giraffes, or the bunny box, or the lions. I can go behind the scenes but actually interact with them if I was to not work here.
I'm a conservationist at heart, and so the breeding program that we're doing with the penguins is the most conservation-related thing I'm personally involved in, so that's probably my favorite part. And, they're adorable. In the spring we had 5 penguin chicks, that we hatched all at the same time, and there's nothing cuter than a pile of penguins. We try to manage a completely healthy, full genetic range population in captivity. So if the wild needs the backup and they need help, we have it to provide and put them back in the wild or reintroduce those genetics. One of the most important things about zoos is the educational value that they provide, especially here in Memphis, and also I grew up in Philadelphia. Kids who live in cities and don't get to experience wildlife firsthand can come to the zoo and see them in person, learn about them, and get personally invested in them. You get to do some really cool things, but your job primarily is feed the animals and pick up their poop. And we do it every day, but you have to keep them healthy, and those are the two most important things to do. It can be stressful. I mean, there's a lot of lives that you're responsible for that's certainly made up for by how wonderful they are. The hours are sometimes not fun. The visitors are sometimes not fun. But you know, so it's a lot of hard work, but again, the animals make it all worth it.